Beloved, life is a journey where the unseen often holds more power than the seen. Many look only at what their eyes reveal, forgetting that the greatest forces are invisible: faith, thought, prayer, and divine wisdom. When storms rise and delays come, you may wonder if your prayers are heard, if your path is secure, if God's hand is still guiding you. Yet deep within, there is a voice whispering that nothing is wasted, nothing is lost, and everything is moving according to a higher order. Today, I invite you to look beyond appearances and trust the invisible workings of God. For even when you cannot see, His process is alive, His hand is steady, His plan is unfolding perfectly for your good. And this brings us to the first truth we must hold tightly in our hearts. God's process works beneath the surface, even when unseen. When you look at the soil after a seed has been planted, it seems lifeless, quiet, and empty. Nothing appears to be happening, but in truth, the miracle of life is already underway. The seed is swelling, roots are reaching downward, and the invisible forces of growth are at work. In the same way, when you pray, when you declare your faith, when you release your desire to God, something begins to move in the unseen. Even if your eyes do not yet behold the answer, the process has already begun. The human mind often craves immediate evidence. We want to see the outcome now, feel the breakthrough now, touch the blessing now. But God's process does not always reveal itself on the surface. What is hidden is not delayed. What is unseen is not absent. The invisible workings of God are stronger than any visible circumstance. The roots beneath the soil determine the strength of the tree above. Think of your life as that seed. Right now, unseen forces are shaping you, guiding you, nourishing you. Each thought of faith, each word of trust, each act of obedience is like sunlight entering the soil of your soul. You may not see instant change, but trust this, something is shifting. The process of God is alive and active. If you only trust what your eyes can see, your faith will be shallow. But when you choose to trust in what you cannot yet see, your faith becomes unshakable. That is why Scripture reminds us to walk by faith and not by sight. Faith is the confidence that God is working beneath the surface. Faith is knowing that every prayer has been heard, every tear has been counted, and every step is part of a larger divine story. There are seasons in life when the outward appearance seems barren. You may look at your situation and feel that nothing is changing, nothing is improving, nothing is moving. But that is only the surface view. Underneath, God is aligning opportunities, preparing hearts, shifting circumstances, and building foundations. Just as roots must spread deeply before a tree can rise tall, your inner strength must grow before your outer life blossoms. The soil does not reveal the activity of the seed until the right moment. In the same way, your life will not always reveal what God is doing until His timing is perfect. If you rush the process, you will weaken the outcome. But if you trust the unseen, the result will be strong, lasting, and filled with abundance. God's process is not random, it is precise. Just as nature follows perfect laws, gravity, seasons, cycles, so does your life under God's hand. There is a divine order moving through your days. Every unseen detail is being woven together for your good. Even in silence, even in stillness, God's hand is active. So when you look at your life and see nothing happening, remind yourself, the unseen is alive. The process has already begun. The roots are forming. The foundation is being laid. And what God is preparing will soon rise above the surface with beauty and strength. Silence is not absence. It is preparation. One of the greatest tests of faith is enduring silence. There are times when you pray and the heavens seem still. You ask, but no voice answers. You seek, but no door opens. You knock, but nothing moves. In those moments, many assume that God has forgotten them, abandoned them, or turned away. But this is a misunderstanding of divine silence. Silence is never absence. Silence silence is preparation. When the teacher is silent in the classroom, it is not because the teacher has left. It is because the students are in the middle of their test. Likewise, God's silence does not signal his departure. It signals your preparation. It is in the silence that your faith is tested, your patience refined, and your trust deepened. Consider a symphony. Before the grand crescendo, there is often a pause, a stillness that builds anticipation. That moment of silence is not the end of the music. It is the preparation for its most powerful expression. The same is true with God's silence in your life. It is the stillness before the breakthrough, the quiet before the unveiling, the pause before the manifestation. In silence, God is working behind the curtain of the unseen. He is arranging circumstances, shaping hearts, and aligning opportunities that you cannot yet perceive. If he were to reveal everything at once, you might not be ready to receive it. The silence is the sacred space where preparation takes place, where God ensures that both you and your blessing are ready for the appointed time. The silence of God is not empty. It is full of activity, full of wisdom, full of power. Just because your ears cannot hear does not mean God is not speaking. Just because your eyes cannot see does not mean God is not moving. Silence is simply the divine pause in which preparation and alignment occur. Think of the caterpillar inside the cocoon. From the outside, the cocoon looks still, lifeless, silent. Yet within, transformation is happening. Wings are forming. Beauty is unfolding. Strength is being built. If the cocoon were broken prematurely, the butterfly would not survive. Likewise, if God were to interrupt the silence too soon, you would miss the full preparation of your destiny. It is in the silence that endurance is forged. It is in the silence that your heart learns to lean, your soul learns to rest, and your mind learns to trust. Instead of fearing the silence, embrace it. Instead of doubting in the stillness, rejoice in it. Know that the silence is not punishment, but positioning. You are being positioned for a greater outcome, for a larger blessing, for a destiny that requires divine timing. The silence of God is the womb of your miracle. Just as a child is formed in the hidden silence of the womb before birth, your dreams, prayers, and promises are being formed in the hidden silence of divine preparation. When the time is right, the silence will break, the doors will open, and the manifestation will come forth in power. Delays are development, not denial. When you face delays in life, it is easy to assume that God has forgotten your prayer or turned his face away from you. Yet the truth is deeper and far more powerful. Every delay has a purpose. Every waiting season carries hidden wisdom. What you call a delay, heaven calls development. A child cannot be born the day after conception. The process of growth requires time, nurture, and preparation. Likewise, the dreams you carry, the blessings you seek, and the promises of God in your life must undergo their season of development. To rush the process would be to weaken the result. To wait with faith is to align with divine timing. Delays stretch your character, build your patience, and teach you trust. They strip away the illusion of control and deepen your dependence on God. When things do not happen on your timetable, it is not because you are denied. It is because you are being prepared. You are being stretched to hold the weight of what is coming. Think of a young tree planted in the soil. If it grows too quickly without strong roots, the first storm will uproot it. But when the growth is slow, steady, and deeply rooted, it can withstand the fiercest winds. In the same way, God allows delays to anchor you, to root you, to prepare you for the weight of destiny. Delays are not empty spaces of wasted time. They are classrooms of growth. In those moments of waiting, you learn perseverance. You discover your strength. You sharpen your faith. The waiting teaches you to stand firm, even when the evidence is not yet visible. The waiting trains your heart to remain steady, even when your mind is tempted by doubt. In the unseen, God is arranging details. He is aligning people, circumstances, and opportunities, so that when the appointed time arrives, everything will flow together in perfect harmony. If what you desire appeared before its time, it could collapse under the pressure. But when it comes after proper development, it will be secure, lasting, and filled with blessing. What you must understand is that delay is not the same as denial. God has not rejected you. He has reserved you for the right moment, the right place, the right opportunity. Delay is not an obstacle to your destiny. It is the very path to it. Those who lose heart in the waiting cut themselves off from the fullness of the promise. But those who endure, those who see delay as development, rise with a deeper strength and a richer faith. Every moment of delay is shaping you into the person capable of carrying the fulfillment. Every trial is shaping you for strength. Life will bring trials. There is no path of growth without resistance, no journey of faith without challenge. But understand this, every trial is not meant to break you, but to shape you. Every difficulty is an invitation to grow stronger, to rise higher, to step deeper into the power God has placed within you. Gold is refined in the fire. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Steel is strengthened through heat and hammering. Likewise, your soul is shaped through the trials you face. Without resistance, muscles remain weak. Without storms, roots remain shallow. Without trials, faith remains untested. It is through the challenges that you discover the true strength God has deposited within you. When storms come, many cry out asking why, but a greater perspective sees the storm not as destruction, but as construction. The winds that shake you are also the winds that shape you. The fire that burns is also the fire that purifies. The weight you feel is also the weight that builds endurance. Trials strip away what is unnecessary. They cut off false supports. They reveal where your trust truly lies. When comfort is removed, you are pushed to lean more fully on God. When the familiar is shaken, you are compelled to anchor in the eternal. Every trial forces you to step beyond your own strength and to discover the limitless strength of God. Consider the sculptor with a block of marble. At first glance, it seems like nothing more than stone. Yet with every strike of the chisel, with every cut, and with every blow, the figure within begins to appear. The sculptor sees the beauty that no one else sees, and the hammering is not destruction, it is revelation. In the same way, every trial you endure is a strike of the chisel in the hands of God. He is not breaking you down. He is shaping you into the masterpiece He already sees within. Trials also enlarge your capacity. A person who has faced hardship carries a strength that cannot be shaken by small storms. A soul that has endured deep valleys can walk with courage through new challenges. The very weight of the trial becomes the weight that builds spiritual muscle. You do not leave a trial empty. You leave it with treasures of wisdom, endurance, and faith. Every trial is a divine invitation to transformation. When you shift your perspective from asking, "Why me?" to declaring, "Shape me," you begin to see trials as blessings in disguise. They are the tools that prepare you for greater responsibilities, deeper faith, and a stronger spirit. Remember that no trial lasts forever. Every storm passes, every fire cools, every night gives way to dawn. But when the trial ends, you are not the same as you were before. You are stronger, wiser, deeper, and more resilient. The trial did not defeat you. It forged you. It did not destroy you. It built you. It did not reduce you. It multiplied you. Closed doors are divine redirections. There are moments in life when doors you were certain would open remain firmly shut. Opportunities you pursued slip away. Paths you thought were straight become blocked. At first it feels like rejection, like failure, failure, like loss. Yet in truth, these closed doors are not punishments. They are divine redirections. Every closed door is a message from heaven that says, not here, not this way, not now. It is God's way of protecting you from lesser paths and guiding you toward greater ones. Often what appears to be a missed opportunity is in reality a merciful redirection away from harm, away from compromise, away from something that could not sustain you. Think of a traveler walking toward a dead end. If the road simply continued, he would waste time, energy, and strength moving in the wrong direction. But when the path ends, when the door is closed, he is forced to turn, to shift, to seek another way. The closed road becomes the saving grace that prevents him from wandering further into emptiness. So it is with your life. The closed door is not the end of your journey, but the turning point that saves you from settling too soon. Sometimes we hold on to dreams that are too small, relationships that are not aligned, opportunities that are not meant for us. When the door closes, it is heaven saying, I have something higher, something richer, something better prepared for you. The mind, in its limited vision, often resists this. It clings to what is lost. It mourns what is shut. It fears what is uncertain. But faith sees differently. Faith understands that behind every no is a greater yes. Behind every closed door is another door that will open into abundance. Consider how often in your own life what you thought was a devastating loss later revealed itself to be a hidden blessing. Perhaps you were denied a job, only to find a greater career unfolding elsewhere. Perhaps a relationship ended, only for a deeper love to enter your life. What felt like rejection was, in truth, redirection. When God closes a door, it is never to leave you stranded. It is always to move you toward alignment with His purpose. He sees what you cannot see. He knows what lies beyond the next turn. Trusting closed doors is one of the deepest expressions of faith because it requires you to surrender your limited vision and rest in the higher wisdom of divine guidance. So do not fear the doors that shut. They are not the end. They are the signal that you are being guided into a better way. Each closed door is an arrow pointing you toward a greater path, a higher opportunity, a destiny that fits you perfectly. Faith is the soil. Prayer is the water. Expectation is the sunlight. Every harvest begins with a seed, but no seed can grow without the right conditions. The soil, the water, and the sunlight together create the environment where life can flourish. In the same way, your destiny is a seed planted within you. To bring it into full expression, it must be nurtured by faith, sustained by prayer, and illuminated by expectation. Faith is the soil. It is the foundation upon which everything grows. Without faith, the seed lies dormant. With faith, the seed finds a place to take root. Faith is the certainty that what you have asked for is already in motion. It is the deep conviction that God's promises are true, that His word is unshakable, and that your life is moving according to His plan. When your heart is grounded in faith, the soil of your spirit becomes fertile, ready to hold and nourish the seed of your destiny. Prayer is the water. Just as water penetrates the soil and awakens the seed, prayer penetrates your spirit and awakens the power of God within you. Prayer is not merely words spoken into the air. It is communion with the divine. It refreshes the soul, strengthens the heart, and sustains your vision. Without water, the seed cannot grow. Without prayer, the spiritual seed within you cannot fully develop. Prayer softens the soil of your heart, washes away fear, and fills you with the living presence of God. Expectation is the sunlight. The seed can be planted, the soil fertile, the water abundant, but without sunlight, it will never break forth into the open. Expectation is the light of your mind, the energy of your belief, the radiance of your vision. Expectation looks forward with certainty, not with doubt. It declares, I know my harvest is coming. It shines over the soil and calls forth the seed to emerge. Faith without expectation is incomplete. Prayer without expectation lacks power. Expectation is the radiant force that draws the unseen into the seen, that calls the invisible into manifestation. When you expect the best, you attract the best. When you expect God's promises to be fulfilled, you align yourself with their fulfillment. Together, these three, faith, prayer, and expectation, form the perfect environment for growth. Faith anchors you, prayer sustains you, expectation lifts you. When they work in harmony, no force can stop the seed within you from bearing fruit. Just as a farmer does not doubt the harvest after planting the seed, so too must you live with certainty. You may not see immediate results, but you continue watering with prayer. You continue nurturing with faith. You continue shining with expectation. In time, the seed will break through the soil and bear the fruit of the promise. The process cannot be rushed, but it can be trusted. When your soil is faith, your water is prayer, and your sunlight is expectation, the harvest is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of certainty. Trust replaces fear and brings peace. Fear thrives in uncertainty, whispering doubts and painting shadows where none exist. It magnifies problems and blinds the heart to solutions. Yet when trust enters, fear loses its voice. Trust is the quiet strength that says, even if I cannot see the way, I know the one who leads me. It is not built on circumstances, but on conviction. When you place your confidence in God's process, the storm outside cannot unsettle the calm within. Trust becomes an anchor, keeping you steady when the winds of worry blow. It lifts the burden of control, reminding you that you are guided by wisdom greater than your own. In trust, the restless mind finds rest, the troubled heart finds assurance, and the weary soul finds peace. God refines you like gold through fire. Gold in its raw form carries impurities that dull its brilliance. Only when it passes through fire does its true radiance emerge. In the same way, your life is refined through challenges. The fire is not to destroy but to purify, to burn away what is false and strengthen what is true. Trials become the heat that reveals your resilience, chisels your character, and deepens your faith. Just as the refiner watches closely to ensure the gold is not consumed but perfected, God oversees your process with care. He allows the fire only long enough to bring forth your hidden brilliance. Every test strips away fear, pride, and doubt, leaving a soul polished, resilient, and ready to shine with greater clarity. Your steps are ordered, and your destiny is secure. Life may sometimes feel uncertain, with twists, turns, and unexpected detours. Yet every step is guided by a higher wisdom. What appears random is often part of a precise design, moving you closer to your purpose. When you trust that your steps are ordered, fear of missteps fades away. Even the roads that seem like setbacks are woven into the larger journey of destiny. Just as a master weaver threads each strand into a greater tapestry, God threads every choice, every challenge, and every moment into the fabric of your life. This assurance brings calm in uncertainty, because you are not wandering aimlessly. You are walking a path already written with intention and care, and every step carries meaning, direction, and purpose. What God begins, He always completes. The universe operates with divine consistency. The sun rises, seasons change, rivers flow, and life unfolds with order. In the same way, what God initiates in your life carries the same certainty of completion. A seed planted by the Creator cannot remain unfinished. It must grow, develop, and reach fulfillment. When doubts whisper that you are stuck or abandoned, remember that divine beginnings are never left halfway. Just as a builder finishes the house once the foundation is laid, God completes the work once He has started in you. Every promise carries within it the guarantee of fulfillment. The process may be long, the journey may test you, but the end is secure because the one who began it holds the power to bring it to perfect completion, shaping your destiny with unwavering faithfulness. We have walked together through 10 timeless truths that anchor the soul and strengthen faith. We have seen that God's process is alive beneath the surface, even in silence, and that delays are not denials, but development. We have learned that every trial is shaping us, every closed door is redirection, and that faith, prayer, and expectation are the forces that nourish the seed of destiny. We have discovered that trust replaces fear, that the fire refines us like gold, that every step is ordered, and that what God begins, He always completes. This is not mere inspiration. It is divine law at work in your life. It is the assurance that you are never alone, never forgotten, never left adrift. Every breath, every step, every season is part of a grand design that leads you towards strength, peace, and fulfillment. So walk boldly, live fully, and trust completely. If this message has uplifted you, stay connected with us here on for more words that will strengthen your faith and awaken the divine power within you.